Well, I'm very honored tonight to sit by this great Archbishop. I was raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is 60% Catholic. And then Elaine and I decided we're going home to Utah, which is 60% Mormon. So I can understand both pretty well. Let me just say that I'm very pleased to be with so many friends and allies in the fight for religious liberty tonight. And of course to honor one of religious liberty's real champions. In 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul describes how there is one body, but it has many parts. That describes the ongoing effort to promote and defend religious liberty. And I see many people here tonight who are making a difference and who are in different roles, but all in the same great cause. Archbishop William E. Laurie is a passionate defender of religious freedoms, not only in the United States, but around the world. He was ordained to the priesthood in 1977 and began serving as the associate pastor of St. Joseph's Parish in Landover, Maryland. He became Bishop of Bridgeport, Connecticut in 2001. And in 2012, Pope Benedict XVI appointed then Bishop Laurie to become the 16th Archbishop of Baltimore, succeeding Edwin Cardinal O'Brien. Archbishop Laurie has had leading roles on committees within the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, including his current service as chairman of its ad hoc committee on religious liberty. Challenges to religious liberty are growing and increasingly include religious schools. Archbishop Laurie's voice on religious liberty is strengthened by his experience as chancellor or chairman of institutes such as Mount St. Mary Seminary and the Catholic University of America. In 2005, he was elected Supreme Chaplain of the Knights of Columbus and has the responsibility of overseeing the spiritual welfare of the order's 1.8 million members and their families. As a courageous voice on religious liberty, Archbishop Laurie has worked to protect church governance from government control and his work to defend freedom of conscience in Catholic institutions in the context of same-sex marriage and abortion. In chairing the ad hoc committee, Archbishop Laurie also leads the church in responding to a myriad of current challenges to religious freedom, including regulations issued by the Department of Health and Human Services in August requiring coverage of contraception and sterilization in most private health insurance plans. Rules that would deny government funding to the bishops' migration and refugee services if it does not provide a, quote, full range, unquote, of reproductive services including abortion and contraception to human trafficking victims and unaccompanied refugee minors. And the U.S. Agency for the International Development's requirement that Catholic Relief Services and other contractors, include condom distribution in their HIV prevention activities and provide contraception in a range of international relief and development programs. Archbishop Laurie has worked closely with leaders of the LDS Church to create the First Amendment Partnership, which, with partners from many other faiths, seeks to protect religious freedom and religious influence in our communities and in society at large. When I was first elected, only 7% of Americans had very little confidence in organized religion. That number has now tripled. I don't think it was because I got elected. However, I wonder sometimes. 3/4 of Americans say that religion as a whole is losing its influence in American life. We have a lot of work to do, and I'm glad that Archbishop Laurie is helping to lead this effort. In congressional testimony, Archbishop Laurie demonstrated his wisdom and deep understanding of religious liberty in America. He said that religious liberty is not a privilege granted by government, but is inherent in our very humanity. Government, therefore, is obligated to protect religious liberty as fundamental, no matter what the social and political trends of the moment. I pray that many in Congress will heed his counsel. As Pope Francis said at the White House just 2 weeks ago, and I was one who had the privilege of leading him into the chamber up on Capitol Hill, leading him out of the chamber and down to his fiat that he had, which I found to be wonderfully humble in this awful city of Washington, D.C. But as Pope Francis said at the White House just 2 weeks ago, religious freedom is one of America's most precious possessions, and we must be vigilant to defend it from everything that would threaten or compromise it. We are so grateful to have you here, Mr. Archbishop. Having been raised in Pittsburgh, which was 60% Catholic at the time, and moving to Utah, which is 60% Mormon, I think I really can appreciate what you've done with your life and how much you've given for the benefit of your fellow men and women and your people, not just Catholics, but everybody. And you're doing it still, and I'm so grateful to you. We are all so grateful to have Archbishop Orrin as our close friend and ally in the fight for religious freedom, and especially to honor him for his leadership here tonight. I just want you to know that having this privilege of sitting here at the same table and chatting with you about a variety of matters, I knew you were great before I came here, but I can tell the school audience that you're better than I thought you were. And that was pretty great. So, with no further ado, Archbishop Orrin.